And we're back. Okay, so we have just done our energy exchange, and the charts showed us that one thing that we would most benefit from having released today was self-centeredness. Has this come up before? Why, yes. In fact, it has. I think it has anyway. I don't remember if it was in an energy exchange or if it was actually in a full clearing, but we know that this has come up before. And so this probably is something that's just very deep and very layered, something that we have to look at closely and say, okay, what more do we need to know about this? What more can we know about this so that we can look at it, clear it, release it, let it go, process it. And again, as I said in that last video, being able to open up our mental real estate. Being self-centered means there's so much less space for us to think about other things. And those other things can be our hopes, our dreams, our goals, our desires, the things we want to build, our family, all sorts of other things that really have no space to live when we are just so focused on ourselves. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. That's what we're going to be working on clearing. And so the first thing we want to do, again, after we've just sort of dropped in and gotten centered, right? Like a really important part of all of this is being here now in this very moment and trying not to project into the future, trying not to think about the past, trying not to be in judgment, definitely not being in judgment, right? What comes up is what comes up. We can look at it and we can let it go. So, okay, so we're just going to ask ourselves, what % are we open to letting go of this self-centeredness? 0%. And what % are we blocked to letting this go? 100%. So we got to look at that. So what can we do to first open ourselves up? Actually, let's reverse that. Let's look at the blocks first. So what can we do to release ourselves from those blocks? Let's find the blocks and let's destroy them, and then we'll look at our openness. So what are the blocks to us letting go of self-centeredness? Oh, well, that's not what I was expecting. 8D, soul contracts and connections. This is a non-original SRT chart. This was an add-on. This is something, I don't even know at what point it was added on. I think it was actually after I had my original training back in 2019. So hidden flame mate of your soulmate. These are ones that I don't know all the definitions of all of these soul relationships, these soul contracts. Obviously, I think many of us know what our soulmate is. And so this is saying there is a hidden flame mate of our soulmate that might be influencing us to be so self-centered. And so we're just going to ask Spirit to clear it and to clear any soul relationships, any soul dynamics that are not in our highest good here and now. We don't always have to understand everything that comes up in the charts. That's when we just rely on our faith and in our belief to say, Spirit, clear it. Spirit, take this away. We could dive into the definitions a little bit more. We could look at the symbolism of what a hidden flame mate of your soulmate may mean. And this is making me think about yesterday's clearing around jealousy, which is interesting. But we don't know. I'm not going to do that right now. If this comes back up again, we will, but we're just going to say right now, Spirit, clear it. Okay, what else can we do to clear the blocks? What else is blocking us to letting go of that self-centeredness? So chart 19, the good advice from grandma just came up. So how to change your life. What are we thinking here? What are we thinking is a thing we can do? Patience and persistence. Ooh, is this patience, persistence, or both? Okay, there's some level of patience here that needs to occur. There's some level of persistence that needs to occur. It's interesting. What that makes me think of is like actually intentionally not being obsessed with ourselves. Like when we feel it happening, intentionally with persistence saying, I'm not going to get sucked into this. I'm going to let this go. I am going to now think about something else. I'm going to pull out my crossword puzzle book. I am going to, clean the house. I'm going to go do something that is going to engage my brain in another way. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to watch a show that is maybe interesting and engaging so I don't just sit here and obsess with myself. So how persistent can you be and how patient can you be with yourself through this process of reprogramming your mind? Because that is part of what happens when we become self-centered and self-obsessed. It has now become a pattern. It has now become a program. And those things are very powerful, probably more powerful than, I think many of us give them credit for. Although I think all of us know what it's like to feel like we are under the control of a self-obsession, that you're like, why am I so obsessed with this thing? Why am I so obsessed with this thing that I'm thinking about? Why do I have to be the center of everything? Why do I have to be the center of this universe? Why can't I just really let go and allow my mind to be, in harmony, in a way that doesn't include me being at the center of everything? So is there anything getting in the way of us being able to practice patience and patience and persistence? That was the one right above it. So what's getting in the way of us being able to have this patience and this persistence? Is this chart guide 1? Yeah, it is chart guide 1. So I've been a better prepared dowser lately by having all of my charts available to me right here. So we're just going to look at this and we're going to say, what is it that's getting in the way of our patience and our persistence? Ooh, well, okay, well, that's freaking weird. Is this right? Message, this literally says message from a twin flame. That's weird. That's weird. I don't even know I had that chart. Oh, it says, I'm sorry I hurt you. Okay, so the first thing that came up in this clearing was a hidden flame mate of our soulmate. In our energy exchange, the thing that was going to help us let go of self-centeredness was self-forgiveness. And now here comes forward something that says, I'm sorry I hurt you. Interesting. Interesting. Are we self-obsessed because we've been hurt? Are we self-centered because we've been hurt so much? I do think that this is what came up before. I'm remembering now. And I feel like what had come up before was we're so self-centered because we've stopped trusting other people. We're so self-centered because we think we're the only ones we can rely on. We're so self-centered because we have been led astray by other people's insight and information. We're so self-centered because people have hurt us really, really badly. I remember this now. This is from a couple weeks ago. So someone is stepping forward to apologize. And someone is saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And so the question then is, can you forgive them? And in so doing, can you also forgive yourself for any role that you played in the dynamic and for becoming so self-centered after that all happened? Yeah, I think I always think about myself and all these clearings talk about being self-centered. I'm like, ooh, Kate, ooh, where have you been at in this? Who do you need to forgive? How have you become so self-centered because somebody hurt you and it became all about you? So, wow, these are the things that I just never expect to have come up, and then they do, and you're like, wow, all right, well, here we go. Okay, so now what percent are we open to our patience and persistence now that we've heard that message? 100%. So that was better. Oh, so take a deep breath into that, everybody. Just relax into that feeling of really just forgiving whoever it is that has hurt you, and forgiving yourself for the role you feel you played in it, and forgiving yourself for anything that might have happened since then. Forgive yourself for pushing good people away. Forgive yourself for pushing good connections away. Forgive yourself for denying yourself opportunities to connect with other people because you were so hurt from this, this soulmate, this flame mate, this whatever you want to call them. Ouch, painful. Oh my. Okay, so now what percent are we open to? No, let's, come on, Kate, get it right. What percent are we now blocked to letting go of our self-centeredness? We have no blocks anymore. That was it. That was the big one, y'all. Okay, so now we're going to look at that openness. So we were still 100%, also 100% blocked to our openness. So we had this external block again, and then our heart was also closed. That's the way I want to think about it when I think about openness. It's like my heart's closed, So, okay, so then what do we got to do to open up our hearts to letting go of this self-centeredness? Other archetypes programmed before creation, 8B. Well, I like how quickly the energy is moving here today. Maybe this doesn't even have to be a long video. Self-punishment. So interesting that this is all the stuff that's coming up. All right, self-punishment, we're clearing self-punishment, which is a negative potential, right? So self-punishment is something that we do that is sort of motivating, but in the wrong sort of way, in a negative way. It's a negative motivation. It's a negative potential. It's us leaning more into our negative potential than our positive potential. So, you know, the positive potential that you could say would be a balance to self-punishment would be self-esteem. If we have self-esteem, then we are going to really be leaning into our positive potential. When we have self-punishment, then we're leaning into our negative potential. So we clear ourselves of self-punishment, and then all of the energies that build up and lift up self-punishment, and that's depression, and that is addiction, alcoholism, feelings of injustice, the energy and feelings of frustration, fear of life, guilt, helplessness, illness, and health abuse. So those are all the things that we're clearing today. Ooh, okay, wow, great. All right, now what percent are we open to letting go of our self-centeredness? 60%. So let's chip away a little bit more at this. What else is preventing our openness, an open heart to letting go of this self-centeredness? And then we'll look at just making sure that we're 100% open to self-forgiveness here in a minute. Okay, so we're looking at chart 4, which is past life stuff. Oftentimes it's past life stuff. So who's involved in this story? A husband, a friend, and another friend. Husband, a friend, and another friend. And what is the energy of this dynamic? What is the energy of this dynamic? Oh, interesting. Sexual promiscuity. So there could have been something that occurred here. Past life, present life. I don't know what life it's from. All of the above, right? Time isn't real. Doesn't really matter. So there's been some hurt and some pain by a husband figure, some friends. Maybe you're the husband. Maybe you were the husband. Maybe you are the husband. Maybe you're the wife. Maybe you are the child. Whatever energy or whatever role you have played in this, or, you know, whatever it may be, again, because past, present, future is so blurred in the realm of spirit, in the realm of consciousness. So we're just clearing that energy of that dynamic that was really unhealthy for all parties involved. I'm not getting that anybody won in this situation. So we're clearing that energy now. And it's replacement energy. We're replacing the energy of that experience with life, with helpfulness, with joy, with life, helpfulness, and joy. Those are the energies we're calling in the place of that pain that was related to that lifetime of sexual promiscuity. So we're clearing that now, just like, we're just handing that back. We don't need it anymore. Again, we're transmuting the one energy we don't want anymore for this new energy, the new energies that we do. So now what percent are we open to releasing that self-centeredness? Oh God, we're up to 100%. And then what percent are we open to self-forgiveness? 100%. What percent are we blocked to self-forgiveness? 90%. So let's get rid of that block to self-forgiveness. 9A, which is a funny chart. It's we'll see what happens when we go to 9A. So is there something on here you want me to see? Oh, lifetimes of denying God. We're clearing ourselves from every lifetime where we denied God, opening ourselves up to the truth of the Creator, the truth of Source, the truth of our connection to Source, the truth of Source existence. And we really call in self-forgiveness now for everybody who had denied God because of this pain, because of this issue that had happened, because of this story that had occurred, because of this hurt that had happened. So interesting. I don't want to name names because I don't want to get on the wrong side of the internet, but I watched an interview with a woman whose husband had recently died. And she had made note that somebody had said that somebody had gone through something similar with their husband dying, had said, oh, that they ended up hating God. And she said, oh, I would never, like that would never be my response. And I think that that can be true. And I actually think it's a very human natural reaction to be mad at God, Source, Spirit, whatever else is out there other than ourselves when we're hurt like that. So really what I want to call in right now is just a cleansing of this hurt, a release of this hurt, a release of whatever benefit you felt you have gotten from this hurt, whether that's, you know, being a victim, being a martyr, getting the support you need from your family, because again, they've been there for you through this hurt, whatever the case may be. So we're just clearing all of that now, allowing people to start fresh. We're just wiping the slate clean for everybody right now. Like, you don't need to hang on to this anymore. And it doesn't dismiss or deny the pain you've been in. I never want to act like that. It's not dismissive. It's not denial. It's just saying, I'm done with this story. I want a new story. I want a story that doesn't have to be so self-centered. I want a story that involves self-forgiveness and a brand new life, and being able to build a new dynamic for myself, being able to build a new story for myself. Ooh. Okay. Now, what percent are we open to our self-forgiveness? Now that we have cleared that, what percent are we open to self-forgiveness? 100%. What percent are we blocked to self-forgiveness? Only 20%. So let's go get that final 20%, shall we? Okay. So we're back to soul connections. WTF. I don't get that chart very often. That's so fascinating that soul connections is what's coming up here. Oh, hidden twin souls, or souls bonded to the soul. There's something here with just soul dynamics, soul relationships here, friends. Wow, I'm a little taken aback by all of this, but we're going to just ask for it to be cleared, whatever past life, whatever story. And what's the energy of this one? I really like focusing on the energy, because that, I believe, we can really clear. What is the energy of this soul bond, this soul bond that is really not helping this person? Unforgiveness. Well, yeah, because we were just working on self-forgiveness. So we were still 20% blocked to forgiving ourselves. And now we just came up forgiveness. So, or unforgiveness just came up. So we're just saying, no, why? Like, what's the root of this unforgiveness? Like, why are we hanging on to this unforgiveness? What's the root of this unforgiveness, and why can't we let it go? What is the root of this unforgiveness? We don't want it. We don't need it. What's going on here? Desire to suffer. Jesus, I'm sorry, but like, come on now. This is always coming up. Humans are just innately have this desire to suffer. And I think that's so true. I mean, you look at everything that's happening in the world right now, all of the violence, all of the revenge, all of the hatefulness, all of the just the grossness that's happening in the world. It's just everybody's desire to suffer. People just don't actually want to be happy. They don't want to be at peace. If you wanted to be at peace, you would be at peace. If you wanted to be happy, you would be happy. Okay, listen, don't come at me on that. I know that that's like, what do you mean, Kate? Because that's what you're saying. Like, my best friend who died in a car accident, it was because I wanted it. No, I'm not saying that. Again, there is so much chaos in the world. There's so many things that are out of our control. Absolutely. And I'm not saying that at all. But there are a whole lot of things that we as humans do that create pain and trauma and suffering for ourselves, just because we like the pain and the trauma and the suffering. We think it will get us into heaven. We think we will be rewarded for our suffering later. And it gives us things now. It gives us sympathy, compassion, power. It gives us power over other people. Our suffering gives us power over other people. And it takes away our own power. So we have the ability to abdicate responsibility because, oh, I'm suffering. Oh, I'm suffering. I don't have to go to work. Oh, I'm suffering. I don't have to show up. Oh, I'm suffering. I don't have to be responsible. So yeah, there's something to be said for that. So I'm just spitting and asking Spirit to clear it, clear our desire to suffer. I think we're going to be coming back to this a lot, y'all. I think this is just part of the human experience that we need to just keep clearing and keep calling ourselves out on. Like, don't let ourselves get away with it, you know? Like, sometimes it's good to have somebody call us out on our crap, you know? We're going to ask to balance positive and negative energy. We're balancing the positive and negative energy. Right now, it is way out of balance, way more in the negative side. So we're just calling in a little bit more positive energy. Yeesh. Okay. All right, now what percent are we open to self-forgiveness? Now that we have looked at that and that desire to suffer and those soul relationships, 100% open to our desire to suffer. What percent are we blocked to our... Kate, pay attention. What percent are we now open to self-forgiveness? 100%. What percent are we blocked? 0%. I get a moving and I lose my words. It's going to be interesting to see what happens once Mercury goes into retrograde here. What, tomorrow, I think? Will Kate be able to talk in her clearings? Who knows? Okay, so we are now back to chart 6B. These are our replacement energies. We're doing 100% of 100% of mop up. Again, this is just kind of one little insight into something that I can do in a session, right? We find the one thing, we find one thing, one issue, the root of a story, the root of a negative energy, and we try to clear away any blocks that are preventing us from releasing it. And then when we release it, we get to have a more empowered, happy, calm, peaceful life, where we don't have to be so self-centered, where we can forgive ourselves and forgive other people too. It's a two-way street. So here are our replacement energies today, now that we've done 100% of 100% of mop up. Sympathy for ourselves and for other people. Hope. Oh, right now I just want you to think about calling in sympathy and calling in hope. Knowing that you deserve it. Knowing that it is yours. Knowing that you can still have all sorts of things you want to have in your life, even if you have hope and happiness and joy. You do not just have to suffer. Okay, everybody, that's all for today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time on another episode of Clearing with Kate.